So I'm going to show you a beginner, intermediate, and advanced leg workout that you can do from home. So we're going to go ahead and start with a warm-up. And what we're doing here are just some sun salutations. So you're going to bring your arms all the way up and bend down as far as you can, or whatever is comfortable for you. We're just trying to get the hamstrings warmed up and the rest of the body warmed up. The next movement here are just some stretches. So you can either reach towards your shins, your feet, or just out in front of you slightly, whatever is the most comfortable for you to do. You're just going to hold this for about 5 seconds and just do a couple of them, just whatever feels right. The next stretch here are just some side bends, and you're just going to try to keep your spine neutral and just let it slightly roll to one side. And we're just going to do a couple on each side here. We're going to warm up a little bit now, and the first portion are going to be walkouts. So that is the intermediate or advanced version, but the beginners, you're going to be able to go ahead and squat down to the ground and just walk yourself out into a tabletop position. And then the advanced version is just going to go straight to the ground and walk all the way out. So whatever is comfortable for you in the in-between those two movements is perfect for this exercise. The next movement here are just some squats. So I'm going to demonstrate a full squat at first, and then we're just going to kind of sit and wiggle there for just a little bit, kind of stretch out the hips. But for beginners, you're going to go ahead and squat to a bench to minimize the effect on your knees. And intermediate, you can just find your happy place in between there. You can either squat to a bench or you can squat to parallel. I prefer to do a more deep squat just to open up my hips. Now we're going to go ahead and walk in place. And if you're up to it, you can go ahead and start jogging in place. And you don't need to lift up your feet very high or go very fast, but as you can see, I've moved into some butt kicks. So I tend to do these because they warm up my legs just a little bit faster, and we're about to get into the actual workout. So we need to either walk, march, or butt kick in order to get the blood flowing a little bit more. The first movement in our exercise are going to be some lunges in alternating directions. So for beginners, go ahead and do what I like to call a quarter lunge, or whatever feels comfortable and the most stable for you. So you'll go forward, sideways, backwards, and the other direction. So I'm just demonstrating how those would look. For intermediate, you're going to go ahead and do a full lunge, push back into your other direction, so forward and backwards here, and just alternate those legs. For advanced, you're going to do a similar thing, but you're going to implement a side lunge. So as you can see, I did a backwards and then a side lunge. And you'll start doing front lunges as well. So you might have to maneuver a little bit to get yourself some space, but it'll be forward, backward, and side. And then you'll alternate the leg. And we're going to do 10 total. After lunges, we're going to move into some non-weighted deadlifts. So you're going to imagine that you have a bar between your hands and you're going to keep that back nice and flat, and you're just going to push your hips back and imagine that bar would hit about center of your midfoot. So obviously we don't have a bar, but we're just going to imagine and keep your back and your core engaged when you send your hips back and keep a lot of control. The next movement here are just some simple calf raises. And if you're unstable and need a little bit of help, you can go ahead and lean up against a wall to do this, or have someone help you by holding their shoulder. And you're just going to raise up on both balls of your toes and do some calf raises. You're going to do 20 of these. The next movement are going to be some split squats. For beginners, again, you're just going to utilize that quarter squat that I showed earlier. And for intermediate and advanced, you're going to do what are called split squats. So you're going to raise your hind leg up a little bit. You can do